Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are doing a huge Aerie swim review. I wanted to choose a brand that was kind of more on the affordable side, but had a pretty size inclusive range, because if I were to review something like Shein or Zaful, which is obviously like as affordable as you get for swimsuits, sometimes they only have like size small through large, or like most of the times they only have size small through large, and their size large isn't even like that big. So I wanted to choose a brand with a more inclusive range, and Aerie has 2XS to 2XL, and they even have long lengths on their one pieces, which is important to me as a tall girl with a long torso, because one pieces, they're just a struggle sometimes. So there's definitely more affordable swimwear brands than Aerie, but you can get bottoms for like $20 and a top for like $30, and that's before sales. I always recommend getting Aerie stuff on sale because they always almost have some kind of promotion or sale going on, so make sure to check in on the website a couple times to make sure you're getting the best price. Also, this video is totally unsponsored, not associated, affiliated with Aerie. I got this all with my own money. Another thing I really like about Aerie Swim is that they sell like the tops and bottoms separately, as opposed to like a set, like something like Shein or Zaful, where you have to buy like the set together, so you can choose different size tops and bottoms. And they also have many different types of like tops and like different styles of bottoms, so you can kind of choose your level of like support coverage for the top and your like leg cut, high rise cheekiness for the bottoms. So they make it super easy to like mix and match tops and bottoms so that you can like choose your preferences. I got a range of bottoms today, from like ultra cheeky to a little more coverage. Got a one piece to test out too. If you guys like my honest reviews, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And because sometimes swimwear reviews can attract the wrong audience, if you are a woman, make sure to like and comment on the video just so we can attract the ladies to this video and not any unwanted crowds, if you know what I'm saying. Okay, without further ado, let's get into the video. So in terms of my normal bikini bottom preferences, I do tend to like things with like medium cheekiness and a high cut leg line, just because I do have a long torso, so I like to accentuate my legs. And sometimes I like a high rise, sometimes I don't, but we got a range today, so we'll test out a couple things. I just wanted to like say my preferences. So first we have the 90s high cut cheeky bottoms. So these do have a nice high cut leg line. They are high rise, and I'd say like medium cheekiness in the back, nothing crazy. So the outside of these is made of a recycled nylon elastane blend, and the inner lining is a polyester elastane blend. And so a good amount of the swimsuit is actually made of recycled materials, so definitely been trying to go towards the sustainable route recently. I noticed that when I reviewed their like offline collection for their activewear, so I definitely like that about them. So they have a couple different swim materials, but this is kind of my favorite. This is like the most like classic swimsuit material that they have, and it's just like very soft. It does have stretchy stitching, so shouldn't like cut into you too much, but definitely has some capable of cutting in at the top. The leg line is seamless, so that one probably shouldn't cut into you at all. So let's try it on. All right, so here are the first bottoms, and I'm definitely a fan of this shape. They're definitely a high rise, so if you're looking to cover the lower tummy area, these bottoms definitely covers that. It's also definitely great coverage in the front. There's going to be no risk for like losing a lip or anything crazy. It also has a nice high cut leg line. I feel like it's definitely elongating my legs. I'm not getting any crazy cutting in. I still do think you have some potential for cutting in at this top band. It's nothing to stray me away from the swimsuit, because you need it small enough to be like secured and not fall off. Kind of have to like, you know, play that game a little bit. I'm getting a very small amount of rolling and showing the inner material. That's kind of the issue with the seamless edges. If you want it to not roll at all, this seam that actually has like the stitching on the outside usually does a good job, but because this one is seamless, I'm getting a little bit of rolling. I'd say like medium coverage in the back. This really isn't like too cheeky. I don't think this is like inappropriate for like family or anything crazy. So I would say a solid medium cheekiness. My only thing is the rolling is getting a little bit annoying. I'm not a huge fan. But yeah, the material is really soft, getting good coverage, so I feel like this is a solid bottom, just the rolling. To go with those sage colored bottoms, I got the ruched bandeau swim top. This isn't like my favorite style of swim top. I just kind of got it to match, but it looks like a little bit narrow, so we'll see if that works for me. Just has a little ruching at the center, made of the same recycled nylon material on the outside. All of their swim stuff has a little bit of elastane in it, so it is gonna have a little stretch. This one looks slightly confusing to get on. The straps kind of tie down onto the back strap, so it'll be decently adjustable because you can kind of like pull the strap situation. So this is actually just like one big loop of straps that just kind of like goes all the way around. So we'll see how this is to get on. Okay, so this top, it's not large cup size friendly. So I really just like don't quite know what's happening with this. Honestly, as soon as I saw it, it was literally like this wide. I knew that we would be having like side boob moments. So it's just, yeah, I'm gonna get this tag out of here. It's just really not doing it for me. It had the potential to be cute. I liked how the straps kind of adjust. As you can see, the over the top straps in the back kind of attach down to this, and they are like movable. And you can tighten the straps by like tightening it all the way, because this does go all the way around. We got cleavage, we got side boob, we got under boob. Like maybe I could have sized up. I'm gonna attempt to take out the cup pads right now to see, but like it's like a very light support and not wearable for me. It's also doing just like a really weird like situation where it's just kind of like scrunched on top of my boobs. I'm really not understanding this. Let me just take the cup pads out real quick. So it's better with the cup pads out. Actually, I don't really know if it's any better, truly. So if I tightened it, it would kind of look like this. It'd be better. I'm just not really a fan of the style of this one in general. So this one's gonna be a no for me. Maybe if you have a smaller cup size. By the way, all my measurements are down below. I wear 32 Triple D on top, and I can almost always fit into a small sports bra, usually small bikini tops. This one's a no. Next, I got a pair of bottoms kind of to mix and match with the solid colored green top. These are the Offline Real Me printed, ruched, super high cut, cheekiest bottoms. So these are definitely the least amount of back coverage, and they have like a little ruched detail in the back too to kind of like go into like, you know, the crease a little bit. We'll see how that actually goes. I haven't seen a lot of like scrunches on swimsuits. Slight V tapering in the back, and definitely is going to have a high cut leg line, but it's not going to be a high rise. So this will definitely be like kind of a low rise. I'm not sure of the front coverage at this point. All of the edges seem to be a seamless material again, and all of their swimsuits also have hygiene liners in the returnable, as long as you have the hygiene liners still in there. And I have returned stuff to Aerie in the past, and it's been pretty easy, so let's try it on. All right, so here are these bottoms. I think they call these like super high leg cut, and I wouldn't call this like super high. Like I feel like this is like mid hip. It definitely comes up, but like I would like them to be like, maybe, I guess you could kind of place them a little bit higher, but then you get a little bit of like folding. So they're really meant to be around here. So I would call them like a mid leg cut. Definitely a low rise in the front. So you're gonna be showing all of the lower tummy area and everything. These ones are also slightly cutting in at the sides. I am wearing a size small in these. Generally, when I size up to a medium in any swim bottoms, they're just like falling off of me, and I would rather have them cut in slightly and be a little snug than have them like fall off of me, because that's just more secure for swimming. Also, decent front coverage. We're not at risk of anything. I guess they're still pretty high cut in the leg line, like at least it does come up slightly, so we're getting the legs slightly elongated. Slight potential for rolling in these. I'm getting less rolling than the first pair, and we do have that little scrunch for these ones, but since these are kind of like a high rise, it's not really, it's kind of sitting on like the low part of my back, not over booty area, so I'm not actually getting any benefits of the scrunch. So the little ruche detail, not really doing anything. I'd say these are cute overall. The cheekiness is flattering, nothing crazy high cut, but it's going to elongate the legs a little bit. So everyone has their own comfort levels, of course, but this isn't too beyond my comfort level. Next, I got the Aerie Shine Plunge Bikini Top. Not sure about the coverage of this top, an issue I have in swim tops, but if I don't have enough coverage in a swim top or I'm not quite fitting into it, usually I just take out the cup pads. With a sports bra, I always need to have like cup pads in my tops, but with swimsuits, I'm a little more flexible on like me. Like sometimes I want cup pads, sometimes I don't, especially if it's like a sheer-ish swimsuit. Sometimes having the cup pads like hears a lot, but then it also helps with sheerness. Pinto, how's it going? We haven't had a guest in a video in a while. Pits, relax. Hey, okay, we don't have a guest. So this is the Sycamore color, just this like beautiful forest green. I am always a sucker for forest green. It's not just like your classic triangle bikini. It's more of like a bra type shape, but it's adjustable. It does have adjustable straps and one of the like little hook adjustable things in the back as well. So definitely going to have some options for adjustability. And it's called like the Airy Shine material because it actually is slightly shiny. It looks almost like a satin finish. So I think it's pretty cute. So Airy is a brand that also makes bras. So I would have liked to see maybe some like different cup size ranges for the bikini tops, because I thought I was actually trying to select some of the bikini tops with like more coverage. Like I saw some on the website and was instantly like, that's not gonna hold my girls in. I just feel like all of these tops so far are offering like no coverage, and before anyone says like, oh, you just need a bigger size, I have tried sizing up in my sports bras, like swimsuit tops, and if they don't fit the girls in a size small, they're not gonna fit me in any size because there's only so much of this part that we can adjust, and I'm already on the loosest setting, and it's not the straps. So yeah, that was my little preamble to this top, causing major side boob and front boob and like all of it. So guys, I was starting out this video very positive, and I'm feeling like a little beaten down. I have tried a triangle top from Airy before that covered me more, that I actually liked. You can see that in my like Toluca review. I reviewed it at the end of that. But anyways, so this is the Shine top. So the bottom band is coming up onto my boobs because it's just not enough space for me. I can't find a situation where I fit into this. So I'm just gonna stop because these are not larger cup size friendly. So Airy, if you ever see this video, it'd be nice if you could come out with like an A to C small and then like a small like double D plus. Like that would be nice. Anyway, here's the back. I do like the style of this swimsuit. So if you're a smaller cup size, this could actually be very flattering. It's got a nice plunging shape, probably push up the girls a little bit. I like the little shine, adjustable straps, adjustable back thing. So it really did have potential, but just not working for me, clearly. So I didn't get any Shine bottoms to match with those. I just wanted to get the classic Airy bikini bottom. That's literally what these are called, the Airy bikini bottoms. They're just kind of your classic, like not high cut, not high rise, like mid rise, like pretty good coverage on the back as well. You're like your classic bikini shape. I've kind of like grown away from this style of bottom recently just because I just don't think it's the most flattering for me. It doesn't really give me any sort of like waist or like, you know, elongate my legs or anything. But some people still like this style, so I wanted to try it out. It's the classic swim material, so even though it's not made of the Shine fabric, the colors still match. So I think you can still mix and match these. This one does have seams all around the top and bottom, so we'll see if those cut into me at all or not, but let's try it on. Here are the bottoms. I think they fit really well, so definitely true to size for these. And I also really like how these ones have the like stitching along the bottom of the leg and the top, because as you can see, I'm not getting any rolling. Definitely look for the stitching around the bottom if you're trying to avoid like rolling in this area, because it's actually staying really well. So this one's pretty solid. It's just definitely like a low rise for me, low cut. So it's not really doing a lot of favors for my leg line, and I feel like it makes me just look maybe like slightly boxy. And I also don't like when like this section like pops out. Not that that's like an insecurity of mine or like anything to be insecure about. I just feel like it just looks a little better when it's like on top of this and just accentuates my hips a little more. Those are all personal preferences. Absolutely nothing wrong with like showing any of these areas. And I would consider these full coverage on the back. So these are definitely great coverage, good for like swimming around the fam, you know, not like wanting to show off too much. Full coverage on the front, not feeling insecure about like losing a lip or anything. So if you're just looking for a solid classic bikini bottom, these ones feel like they're gonna stay in place really well, and they just feel like really nice. So definitely recommend these ones. Next, I got a one piece, and I'm a little confused on how to set this up, but it is the wrap one piece. I got it in the size small long, so hopefully it'll be good for my long torso. Something I always look at with one piece suits is if they're gaping majorly in the back, it's just a no for me. So one pieces are tough. So it looks like this one kind of just like fits on the bottom like that, and then you can kind of like adjust and wrap the top parts. It does have removable cups, and I think with this like wrapping ability, you should be able to have it like support pretty well because you can kind of adjust how tight you need it to be. It also has adjustable straps, which is great to see, and it's made of just like the classic swimsuit material. They also rate all of their bottoms in terms of like cheekiness in the back. I think these are about like a mid coverage. They do have like super cheeky bottoms or totally full coverage, but I went for a mid. I also just wasn't totally a fan of like all of the one pieces they had in the collection. They seem to have a lot with like these little frills, and like I'm not a fan of like the little baby frills. Like, I don't know, already wearing a one piece, I think there's like potential to kind of look like a toddler, at least like me. I feel like that's a possibility. So the frills, they just weren't doing it for me. I think it's like a 90s trend people are trying to bring back. Usually I fall victim to trends at some point, but I'm not quite there yet with the frills. But this one I thought was pretty cute. So let's try it on. All right, so we have some definite pros and cons for the one piece. A lot of one pieces have a lot of risk for losing a lip in the front. You know what I'm saying? I've been using that term a lot. As you can see, I'm completely covered. I feel like all of them, I've been very covered. It's not like, oh, your girl needs to get a Brazilian wax like today. Like, this is embarrassing. Like, I'm pretty covered in the back. These are about a medium coverage for the bottoms. And this is the longer length version because I do have a long torso, and I'm getting like very minimal back gaping. I wouldn't even really call it gaping. So I'd say it fits really well in the low back area, and I'm not getting it like pulling up the front and up the back. Long torso length in terms of the bottom, solid mid coverage, and these also have the little seam at the bottom of the swimsuit, so I'm not getting any rolling. So we've learned that seam at the bottom equals no rolling. That is good news. We have adjustable straps in the back. I did tighten them a little. My only thing is that like I'm feeling a little pulled down in this area. Like I'm really trying to like pull up this region, and I even tried to like tighten the straps so I could get it a little bit lifted. The bottom part to me feels like it was made for a long torso. The top part to me is not feeling like it was made for a long torso. Like you could tell I'm getting pulled down because it just doesn't think that my boobs should be this high on my body, which is strange because this is the long torso version, and what do I need? Extra long torso? Like they don't make that. So it does just have a little wrap detail. I kind of like wrapped it around the back to the front, and then kind of double tied it here. You can definitely kind of like figure out how you would like to wrap it. You can have it like up here, down here. You could even tie it completely in the back. Yeah, I'm getting more coverage on this one, like definitely full side boob coverage, everything, just some front cleavage. I don't think it's too much, except they're just like, they're pulling my girls to different sides. I don't think that's the most flattering look. So not loving how the top part fits me, but the bottom part I think is pretty flattering. Material overall, very soft, very comfortable. But again, even in the long torso version, I'm just not feeling like this is super flattering to long torsos. Hey Peach, Peach, we've been missing you in our videos. Peach, say hi. Peach, Peach, say hi. You're so pretty, Peach. You're so pretty. Mwah. And lastly, I got this little white bikini set. They seemed to really be pushing this style of top. It's like all over all the models and like at the top of all the websites. So this is the wide strap scoop bikini top. This one is kind of like bandeau-ish shape in the front. In the back, these straps are very wide set and it has a very open back, but it's not like adjustable straps or anything. So you're kind of stuck with the sizing here. And this one is also made out of a waffle knit material. Because it's white and because this material is a little different, I'm just not 100% sure about like the opacity of this one. It's definitely letting a lot of light in when I'm just like holding up and looking at it. And I also don't really know how this material would be in water. It does have removable cups. This material, it still has stretch to it, even though it's not the same as the other material. It is a nylon elastane still. So about a 7% elastane, so still has some stretch to it. All right, so here we are with the top, and round of applause for the first top of the video where I don't feel like one slight movement and I'm gonna lose a girl. So that's great for me. I'm just like, I'm not really loving the waffle knit. It just like, it doesn't feel very luxurious. Definitely I feel like would be sheer. I can like see the cup pads through. I don't know if you can see them on camera, but like looking in like my little mirror over here, you can see the cup pads. I do like how I'm totally covered. Like we definitely have side boob coverage over here. Nice scoop neckline. I feel like I'm gonna have a little bit of spillage out of the top. I also just feel like I'm not getting like a whole lot of like lift out of the top. It's just not the most flattering on me. It's just like a little bit slouchy, which is totally fine for the beach. Usually I don't know, I just prefer to choose styles that just do a little more lifting because they need something to hold themselves up. They don't hold themselves up by themselves. So we have a very slight long line situation. I feel like it's kind of getting eaten up down here. Definitely risk for the cup pads showing. And then I do think the back is really cute though. You have like this super open style detail. Very open back would be nice for like tanning and stuff, except you shouldn't tan because the sun, skin cancer, you know what I'm saying? As a future health professional, I do have to say that. Love a little strap down here. And even though, like I said, the strap's really wide, I actually don't feel like strap's gonna fall off. This is me trying to get the strap to fall off. Okay, if you like totally go like that, maybe a chance, but it's less than I thought would fall off. I think this top is cute. It's again not cute enough for like me to keep or nothing really that I'm like raving about, but it's okay. And lastly, we have the crossover high cut cheeky bottoms. So I had to try these because the TikTok famous crossover leggings were like huge from Aerie. I actually love those leggings myself. So I wanted to try the crossover swim bottoms, and these are pretty similar to the first ones as well. They have basically the same style without the crossover waist. It's just like a plain waist. So if you end up liking this style, but not the crossover, they do have just like a plain waistband. Moderately cheeky in the back and definitely going to be a high rise. And then this style actually has like kind of like two sections to it. It almost has like a waistband on top of the bikini bottom. So the bottom part is lined with like the like inner swim material the other ones are lined with, but the top is the waffle knit material like doubled over and kind of like a separate little waistband situation. So let's try this on. All right, so here are the bottoms, and I love this cross waist detailing. I think it's just a little more flattering than the first bottoms we tried on, which were just like a straight across high rise, because these ones kind of like dip down a little bit in the center, show a little belly button, and then they come up and over the hips. So I think these are my favorite like style of bottoms, even though again, I'm not like in love with this waffle print. The waffle like material also just feels like it would stretch out over time and just like not be the like most flattering. I also feel like these bottoms would be good for like, you know, wanting to cover the lower tummy. I just feel like this little slight V detail here kind of is just like very flattering in this area. Also good front coverage on this one, nothing crazy. High leg line, so it's gonna be elongating to the legs. This one does not have a seam around the leg area, so there is some potential for it rolling up. Mostly I am just getting it kind of coming up my butt a little bit, as cheeky bottoms like this tend to eventually do. If they start out like this, they might end up a little bit cheekier over time, but I think they're overall like mid cheekiness, nothing crazy. They go up pretty high in the back. Again, I'm not sure how opaque the white is gonna be. I think you can see the white tag through it, so I wouldn't be choosing the white if you're really wanting to be careful about all this stuff. I feel like the waffle material is rolling a little bit less than the first material. Like the first one rolled as soon as I got it on. This one's pretty good. So I think these are my favorite bottoms. They also come in solid materials, not the waffle. I just think that it's a very flattering bottom. All right guys, so that is it for the Aerie swim review. Honestly, like you could tell by my tone at the beginning of the video that I was very optimistic. I was very excited. I have tried some Aerie swim in the past that I felt like worked better for me. I just feel like a lot of the styles on the website weren't exactly catering to larger cup sizes. So I urge brands that preach inclusivity and like to have a large size range to expand their tops to not just be like small, medium, large. Like I know they have an expanded like top size range, but like I know I can't fit into like medium mediums because the band would be too big, but there's just not a lot of room in the actual cup area. So that would be something I like to see in the future because these are really cute styles. I liked a lot of the bottoms. I felt like those were really flattering. Everything's like decently affordable, but they were just like a couple little things. In general, if you have a smaller chest, this would be great. Like you're probably not gonna have any problems. It'll probably be pretty flattering for you. So yeah, leave me a comment down below if you have tried Aerie Swim, if you've run into any of these difficulties that I'm having right now, or if they just totally work for you. I like to get, you know, a range of opinions down there because I am just one gal, one opinion, one experience, you know what I'm saying? All right guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already. Also make sure to check out my Instagram and my TikTok. I recently hit 10K on TikTok, so we're trying to be a little more active there. So make sure to do that. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.